Does LeBron James feel threatened by Steph Curry? In conversations about the NBA's current greatest player, the answer often feels straightforward.
Michael Jordan.
Of Michael Jordan.
Of Michael Jordan.
To Michael Jordan.
The reality is, without Steph Curry, the NBA landscape would look very different. If the babyface sharpshooter had never redefined the power of long-range shooting, LeBron James would likely have dominated this era entirely. In that scenario, the conversation about today's greatest player would almost certainly end with his name.
I've had an opportunity to watch. I think the man that we're looking at right here is the best of all of them.
The numbers, the championships, the tireless work. LeBron James had built an extraordinary legacy. But then came number 30. With skill, precision, and an unassuming smile, Steph Curry arrived and claimed the highest honors the game could offer, reshaping the narrative and challenging the hierarchy of the modern NBA.
A lot of general fans point to stats to show that it's close, but in my opinion, Curry's impact has been far greater than LeBron's.
This is how Steph Curry disrupted LeBron James' case for the title of greatest of all time. In 2014, LeBron appeared poised to solidify his place at the very top of the NBA hierarchy.
Not only is he going to his fourth consecutive NBA Finals, but he's in a position to win his third straight NBA championship.
At 30 years old, LeBron James was in the heart of his prime, coming off an extraordinary run that included 4 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals. The league revolved around him. Every path to a championship still passed through LeBron. He had the pieces in place once again, a team built around his strengths, anchored by 2 all-NBA caliber stars. By age 30, Michael Jordan had 3 championships. LeBron had 2, a gap but one that felt within reach. Cleveland entered the 2015 season as the favorite to claim the title. And at the center of it all stood LeBron James, armed with both talent and momentum.
Got the toughness of Larry Bird, the touch of Magic Johnson, the way he passed the ball. I think LeBron is a complete player. He played both ends.
This was LeBron James' moment. At the peak of his powers, the next step toward Michael Jordan's legacy seemed within reach. Then Steph Curry entered the scene. Over the following 4 seasons, LeBron made 4 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals, an extraordinary feat in itself. But the outcomes were less kind. 1 narrow loss, 1 championship, 1 gentleman's sweep, and 1 full sweep. 4 finals appearances, 1 title, all tied to 1 name, Wardell Stephen Curry. Without Curry, Golden State would not have become the dynasty it did. Without Curry, Kevin Durant never joins the Warriors. The landscape of the NBA and the story of LeBron's prime would look very different. Make no mistake, LeBron was exceptional. His 2016 comeback from a 3-1 deficit against a 73-win team remains one of the greatest achievements in sports history. But when measuring the greatest of all time, a 1-4 finals record in his prime with a roster built around him leaves a mark that cannot be ignored. And here's the thing.
You agree that if Stephen Curry didn't exist, LeBron would probably be the unanimous best player of all time.
If Steph Curry had never existed, LeBron James' legacy would likely look very different. There's a strong argument that without Curry, LeBron could have won 4 straight championships during that stretch, finishing his career with 7 rings and 7 finals MVPs, numbers that would have firmly placed him ahead of Michael Jordan in most GOAT conversations. But with Curry in the mix, that version of history never materialized. Instead of a potential finals record of 7 wins and 3 losses, LeBron ended up with 4 wins and 6 losses over those seasons. That shift dramatically alters the calculus of the GOAT debate. No matter what he accomplished later in his career, closing the gap on Jordan became significantly more difficult. Steph Curry didn't just slow LeBron down. He delivered a decisive blow to his case as the greatest of all time. And the impact goes beyond championships or accolades. To fully appreciate Jordan's legacy, it's important to remember the obstacles he faced before reaching the top. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals? Yes, but that dominance didn't appear overnight. Before Jordan cemented his place as the greatest, he encountered repeated setbacks. From 1988 through 1990, the Detroit Pistons, led by Isaiah Thomas and the infamous Bad Boys, stopped him 3 consecutive years. In 1988, despite winning both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Jordan's Bulls lost 4-1. The following year, they fell 4-2. In 1990, the series tightened, but the result remained the same.
World Championship will do. And they, the Detroit Pistons, will meet the Portland Trail Blazers in the best of 7.
3 straight playoff exits against the same opponent, the same wall. That was adversity Michael Jordan faced early in his career. But he didn't leave. He didn't seek a new team or an easier path. Instead, he confronted the challenge head-on, turning disappointment into fuel for growth. By the fourth year, that persistence paid off. The Chicago Bulls advanced to the NBA Finals, and Jordan began to take control of the league in a way no one could stop. His story isn't just about championships or rings. It's about resilience, about how a man responds when the universe tells him no. Jordan didn't avoid the gauntlet. He rose above it and conquered it. Now contrast that with LeBron James. In 2010, at just 25 years old, he left Cleveland to join Miami, forming a powerhouse team. A reasonable move at a young age. But by 2014, at 29, after another decisive finals defeat, history seemed to repeat itself.
With me deciding to come back and play here, I'm back.
For a player chasing GOAT status, suffering a decisive defeat, and then leaving for a new situation doesn't project the resilience or legacy that defines greatness.
You don't just leave and abandon ship and then get the band of merry men to start up again. You don't do that. You created this monster that was called the Miami Heatles. Now you got to finish it up.
And let's be clear. LeBron's return to Cleveland in 2014 was only possible because the team had Kyrie Irving and was positioned to acquire Kevin Love. He came back and built the team he wanted. But then Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors emerged. Just as the Pistons had been a wall for Jordan, and the Celtics and Spurs posed obstacles for a younger LeBron, Golden State became his next great challenge. And once again, when the mountain appeared steep at age 33, LeBron left, this time heading to Los Angeles. While his competitiveness and effort are undeniable, it's difficult to ignore the pattern of seeking new situations when faced with obstacles. Once might be understandable, twice raises questions, 3 times begins to define perception. Now, consider Steph Curry. In 2019, he lost in the finals. In 2020, injury sidelined him. In 2021, he missed the playoffs entirely after a play-in defeat. That's adversity. But Curry didn't leave. He didn't recruit a better situation. He stayed, absorbed the setbacks, and came back stronger, ultimately delivering one of the most remarkable and composed post-game performances in NBA history.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Did LeBron James truly sound convinced when he made that statement? Observers noticed hesitation, a glance at the floor, a quiet room, and a remark that drew more scrutiny than admiration. Even in his own words, moments like recalling Game 7, going 0 for 5 in the final minutes, relying on Kyrie Irving to make a step-back 3 over Steph Curry while he watched from the corner, highlight the complexities of his legacy. It raises a fundamental question. How can LeBron claim GOAT status when Curry has arguably outperformed him in several of the areas most valued in that debate? Finals matchups, championship narrative, cultural influence, and even the aspects of the game young players seek to emulate all point toward Curry. And when it comes to the subtleties of professionalism, flopping, questionable decisions under pressure, even those small details contribute to the broader perception. In the conversation about the greatest of all time, these patterns matter. There's more to consider, too. The following season, true to his word and fueled by championship resolve, Steph Curry returned to the top of the NBA, delivering a performance that the basketball world will long remember. Curry a long 3, it's good. Steph Curry from way downtown. When you strip away accolades and statistics and focus solely on the narrative, on how true greatness responds to adversity, Curry's journey reads more like a GOAT story than LeBron's. That raises a striking question. How can LeBron claim the title of greatest of all time when a contemporary not only matched him on the court, but arguably overcame greater obstacles to achieve it? And yet, this isn't the full story of Curry's impact on LeBron's legacy. There's another layer. The next generation is watching. Kids growing up now aren't seeing players overpower opponents in the post or bully their way to the rim. They're seeing Steph Curry pulling up from deep, stretching the game, redefining what's possible. This is the influence that extends beyond championships, beyond numbers. This is how the game itself evolves. LeBron James holds a staggering number of NBA records, yet it's worth examining the context of those milestones. The night he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the league's all-time leading scorer, the Lakers lost. The night he became the first player with 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists, it ended in defeat. Even the night he crossed 40,000 career points, another historic moment, the team didn't win. Many of LeBron's biggest achievements came without the celebration of victory. Steph Curry's milestone, by contrast, often came in triumph. That difference, success when it matters most, separates narratives in a meaningful way. Even in international play, LeBron might have collected accolades, but what resonates most are the moments of tangible winning impact. This reality challenges the conventional GOAT conversation, often framed as Jordan versus LeBron. In nearly every meaningful measure, influence, finals performance, cultural impact, Steph Curry has outshined LeBron during their overlapping eras. And that forces an uncomfortable question. If Curry has surpassed LeBron in so many critical areas, where does he rank among the all-time greats? Placing him above Jordan may still feel extreme, but positioning him directly behind Jordan is increasingly difficult to dismiss.